Chapter 3, Pride and Prejudice. So, the first sentence is pretty complicated, so I will tell the meaning of it. That with the help of 5 daughters, Mrs. Bennet could not get more information from her husband about Mr. Bingley. So that means Mrs. Bennet and her daughters were asking a lot of things from Mr. Bingley, but they were not able to get too much of information. They attacked him in various ways with barefaced questions. Barefaced means shameless, direct questions. Ingenious suppositions. Ingenious is clever. Suppositions, assumptions. So clever assumptions and distant surmises. Surmise is again assumption, I guess. Yeah, assumption. So distant surmise means far off, very some kind of assumption which it will be hardly means hardly it will be true. So they were asking questions, they were assuming a lot of things, and they were literally shameless about getting the information from Mr. Bennet, but he eluded the skill of them all. Eluded means escaped. He escaped all this interrogation, all this asking, and finally they were forced to accept whatever information was coming from the neighbor, Lady Lucas. Okay, they were at last obliged. Obliged means forced to do something, to accept the second-hand intelligence of their neighbor, Lady Lucas. Her report was highly favorable, means very pleasant. Whatever they wanted, her report was like that. Sir William had been delighted with him, very happy with Mr. Bingley. He was quite wonderful, young, handsome, extremely agreeable. Agreeable, again the same thing. Pleasant, whatever you want, you are getting it. And to crown the whole meanings, to top it off, like in Hindi we say na, sone pe suhaga, ki better, to finish it with a better thing. So to crown it all, to crown the whole, he meant to be at the next assembly with a large party. So the crux is, the summary is that Lady Lucas had the report that this Mr. Bingley was very handsome, very pleasant, and to top it off, he was also ready to come to the next assembly with a large party, means he was bringing also some more people. Nothing could be more delightful. To be fond of dancing was a certain step towards falling in love. So actually here I want to tell about this Jane Austen's era, the era in which this book was written. Their assemblies is nothing but party, and balls are dances. So assemblies and the balls were done mainly for they were the social gatherings where the main purpose was the men and women to meet, primary for the purpose of getting married. Okay, so now they were very happy that Mr. Bingley has agreed to come to the next assembly, and he was bringing some more people. So they were very happy about it. If I can but see one of my daughters happily settled at Netherfield, said Mrs. Bennet to her husband, and all the others equally well married, I shall have nothing to wish for. Same, whatever Indian mothers feel the same way, that oh, my daughters should marry well. If they marry well, I don't have any other wish, like that. So she wants her daughters to be happily settled. So in the previous chapter, we saw that Mr. Bingley had secretly visited, Mr. Bennet has secretly visited Mr. Bingley, and they were waiting for Mr. Bingley to give them a visit. So finally in few days, Mr. Bingley returned Mr. Bennet's visit. He came to their house and he was sitting in the library of Mr. Bennet. So generally in their houses, what happens that they have a small place which they call study or library, where there are a lot of books, and the gents of the family, they work there. It's their office space, their own space where they work. So Mr. Bingley came and he was visiting in Mr. Bennet's library, Now he was also, of course, he is of the same era. He also knows that when people are interested in me, that means they want to marry off their daughter with me. So he also wanted to look at, few beautiful ladies, that how they are and what all, but only what he could see was the father, that's all. But the ladies were fortunate, means they were lucky. Fortunate means lucky, and they were looking from the upper window, and they could see Mr. Bingley, that he was wearing a blue coat, and he came riding on a black horse. Now, after this visit, what happened? An invitation was given to Mr. Bingley. An invitation to dinner was soon after dispatched. Dispatch means sent to some location, like my parcel has been dispatched from Bangalore to Pune, like that. So an invitation was dispatched to Mr. Bingley by Mrs. Bennet, that come and have a dinner, something. But Mr. Bingley postponed it, deferred it. Deferred means postponed it. Why? Because Mr. Bingley had to go, had to be in the town. That means he had to go somewhere, and that is why he was not able to accept the invitation. So that made Mrs. Bennet quite disconcerted. Disconcerted means worried, that oh my god, what happened? Why? Where is he going? Why is he not accepting my invitation? She could not imagine what business he could have in town so soon after his arrival in Hertfordshire, that she was wondering what is there, why he has to go so soon to the town. And she was worrying that this person, she began to fear that he might always be flying from one place to another. Now, not like the present scenario. Nowadays people are moving from one place to another. It has become a norm, it is a normal thing. But in that time, in the Victorian era, it was not a normal thing to move from one place to another so quickly, and to keep visiting out of town places. So that is why she did not like it, and she was fearing that Mr. Bingley should not be that kind of person who is always flying out from one place to another, and he is never settled in Netherfield. So Lady Lucas quieted her fears, means she reduced her fears, removed her fears a little, and she told that he has gone to London only to get a large party for the ball. So he has gone to bring more people for the ball party. And a report soon followed that Mr. Bingley was to bring 12 ladies and 7 gentlemen with him. So the girls grieved over such a large number of ladies. Grieved means they were very sad that, oh, the number of ladies have increased, so that means their chance of getting attention has decreased. So they were little sad about it. But then again they were comforted hearing that he is bringing only 6 ladies, 5 sisters and a cousin. And finally when he arrived, to the assembly, finally when the day arrived, when the party started and everybody was there and Mr. Bingley arrived, he had actually 2 sisters. One of them was married, so husband was also there, and a young man. So there were 5 people: Mr. Bingley, his 2 sisters, husband of the elder sister, and a young man. Okay, so they only came. So everybody was very happy. Now they are describing Mr. Bingley, that Mr. Bingley was good looking, gentlemanlike, and had a pleasant countenance. Countenance meaning, I think it is expression, face, a very pleasant expression, a very pleasant face, and easy, unaffected manners. That he was very, easy. He was not nervous. He was very cool. He belonged to the scene. He was very friendly with everybody, like that. His sisters were fine women with an air of decided fashion. So they were also decided fashion means, see, at that time the clothes were very important. They used to tell your status, your wealth, how much money you have or what status you have in the society. So accordingly they had, the sisters had worn the dresses. So with an air of decided fashion means that they were pleasantly dressed up like a high society women. His brother-in-law, Mr. Hurst, merely looked the gentleman. Now, if you see, uh, as a reader, what I am uh, understanding from this line is, here the brother-in-law has been described as a nice gentleman, merely looking good gentleman. That means the because the ladies over there were more interested in single men, so they were not that interested in how Mr. Hurst is, because he is already married. So it's only one line description that okay, he looked like the gentleman, that's it. But then came the attention back to the single gentleman, Mr. Darcy, who came along with Mr. Bingley. He was a friend of Mr. Bingley, and everybody was looking at him and they were very attracted by him. Why? Because he had handsome features and he was noble mien. Mien means, I think, status. Appearance. Okay, noble appearance means appearance of a very sophisticated, very well off person, and people were talking that he has a lot of money, he's making 10,000 a year. So the gentleman pronounced him to be a fine figure of a man. So people were telling, oh, he's a very fine man, and the ladies declared that he was more good looking than Mr. Bingley, and he was looked at with great admiration. So everybody was liking him and everybody was admiring him, but for about half the evening, till his manners gave a disgust, means till his manners were out, people started observing his manners and they started getting irritating, hating him for his manners, and that turned the tide of his popularity. Turned the tide of his popularity means changing the way people look at you. Earlier everybody was liking him because he was good looking and it seemed that he is very wealthy, but as soon as his manners came out, everybody started hating him. So that was a turn of the popularity. Because why he was hated? Because he was discovered to be proud, attitude, ghamandi. He was thinking that everybody is beneath him, and he was not even talking to people. So now people are saying that not even his large estate could save him. That means though he has a lot of property, but that also could not save him from having the most forbidding, disagreeable countenance. That means very bad, irritating appearance, and he is unworthy to be compared with his friend. So now you see the difference. Even the good looks could not save this Mr. Darcy, because his manners was not good. He was not polite with the people, and people, of course, the first impression comes from the face only. When we see people, the first time we see is their face. We see their faces and we make an impression, oh, this is good looking, so he might be good. But as soon as people open their mouth, the truth comes out, and then we change the judgment. So we will like the people who are more polite, who are good mannered, than the people who are insulting, even though they might be good looking. So this is a very good example of this human behavior. Okay, so that means everybody was telling that even if he has so much of property, large estate, that will also not save him from having the hated appearance, and he is very unworthy to be compared to Mr. Bingley. And now Mr. Bingley, on the other hand, he soon made himself acquainted with all the principal people in the room. Acquainted means he made familiar, he introduced himself. Principal people, main people, principal, the important ones, people in the room. He was lively, he was, friendly, unreserved, talking to everybody, danced with everyone. And even he showed his anger that, oh my god, the ball is closing so early. So, he was mingling with people, and he even talked that he would himself throw a party at Netherfield. So these were all very pleasant qualities. So such amiable qualities. Amiable is basically pleasant, I guess. Where is amiable? Yeah, pleasant. Amiable qualities, pleasant qualities, they spoke for themselves. Okay, so everybody was smitten by Mr. Bingley because of his personality, because of his manners. What a contrast between him and his friend. Contrast is difference. Mr. Darcy, that friend who is not popular now, Mr. Darcy danced only once with Mrs. Hurst and once with Miss Bingley. Means the two ladies with him, with whom he came. Okay, he danced only with them, with the sisters of Mr. Bingley. But he did not talk to anybody else in the room. He declined being introduced to any other lady and spent the rest of the evening in walking, speaking occasionally to only his own party. That means he was not even talking to any other person, only with Bingley and his sisters. So his character was decided that he is very proudy and very disgusting, irritating person in the world. And everybody hoped that he would never come there. So much importance is given on the manners. Among us, the most violent against him was Mrs. Bennet. So Mrs. Bennet was having very strong views about this Mr. Darcy, and she disliked her like anything. And the main reason was because this guy has ignored one of her daughters. That was the main reason. Now, Elizabeth Bennet. Elizabeth is the youngest of the sister. Elizabeth Bennet had been obliged by the scarcity of the gentleman. Now, scarcity means less in numbers, because gentlemen were very less. So she had to forcefully, obliged means to forcefully do something. Elizabeth had to forcefully sit down for 2 dances, means she could not dance for 2 dances because there were no gentlemen, only the less numbers. And at that time when she was sitting, Mr. Darcy was standing near her, to hear a conversation between him and Mr. Bingley. So basically Mr. Darcy was standing near to Elizabeth, so she could hear what Mr. Darcy is talking to Mr. Bingley, because they both are friends. Okay, so what they were talking? Mr. Bingley is telling, "Come, Darcy, I must have you dance." That, "Why are you not dancing? Come on, dance. I hate to see you standing about yourself." Means you're standing all alone in the stupid manner. You must dance. And what Mr. Darcy is telling, no, I'll not dance. I certainly shall not. You know how I detest, means I hate it, unless I am particularly acquainted with my partner. So he is not ready to dance with a stranger. He will dance with only those people with whom he had already met. He knows those people for some time at least. And he is telling that at such an assembly, at such a party, it is very unprobable that I know somebody, and your sisters are engaged, and there is no other woman in the room with whom it would not be a punishment to me to stand up with. So he is telling that no other woman is worthy enough for me. If I dance with any other woman, it will be a punishment for me. So how proud he is, how arrogant he is, that is what is shown. I would not be so fastidious as you are. Fastidious is difficult to please. Okay, so he is telling, no, I am not that choosy as you are. I never met with so many pleasant girls in my life as I have this evening, and there are several of them, you see, uncommonly pretty. So Mr. Bingley is very happy. He is telling there are so many girls and some of them are really pretty, and I'm not so choosy like you, so I would dance with them. So Mr. Darcy pointed out, you are dancing with the only handsome girl in the room. That, what are you talking, Mr. Bingley? You are the one who is dancing with the eldest Miss Bennet, who is the only handsome girl. So what Mr. Darcy told, Mr. Bingley says, oh yeah, she is very beautiful creature I ever beheld. Means she is really beautiful. Beheld means to hold somebody. But there is one of her sisters, she's sitting down. She's also very pretty. So here Mr. Bingley is talking about Elizabeth. and he's telling that, let me introduce you to her, and she is also a pretty girl. Which do you mean? Now now Mr. Darcy is searching that, oh, which girl he is talking about, and he looks at Elizabeth, and then he withdrew his own and coldly said, and then he moved his eyes. He stopped looking at the girl and coldly says, without any emotion, she is tolerable but not handsome enough to tempt me. So that means Elizabeth is not as pretty as he wants. So he is like, kind of belittling the girl, demeaning the girl, and insulting her. That I am in no humor at present to give consequence to young ladies who are slighted by other men. Now Elizabeth is sitting down. Okay, so this was considered not a good sign for girls. If you are sitting means nobody wants to dance to you. So that is what Mr. Darcy is pointing out, that nobody wants to dance to this girl. People have slighted her. Slighted her means ignored her. Why should I go and talk to her? She is not that pretty enough. Okay. And then he tells to Mr. Bingley that you don't waste your time here, you just go and enjoy your party. And Mr. Bingley goes. And Mr. Darcy also walks off. And now Elizabeth does not have any cordial feelings towards him. Cordial means friendly. And what she told the story, however, with great spirit among her friends. For she had a lively, playful disposition, personality, playful behavior, which delighted in anything ridiculous. So she has not taken it to her heart. She is not feeling sad or something. Instead, she is telling the story to her friends. What happened? What was he saying? This and that. So she is still very lively and very delightful. The evening altogether passed off pleasantly to the whole family. So finally the evening ended and everybody was happy. Almost overall they were very happy about the party. And what Mrs. Bennet said, that her eldest daughter was really admired by the Netherfield party. Netherfield party means Mr. Bingley and his two sisters, the elder sister's husband, and Mr. Darcy. So everybody admired the eldest daughter. Mr. Bingley even danced twice with her. Okay, so this was a big thing, that not once, Mr. Bingley danced twice with her. Jane, that is the eldest daughter's name, was much gratified by this. Gratified means satisfied by this, and her mother is also satisfied. Jane is also satisfied the way the party ended. And Elizabeth also was very happy for her elder sister. And then they are talking about Mary, another sister, then Catherine and Lydia. Like, they were also okay. They were also pretty okay in the party. So they returned in good spirits. They were very happy. They returned back to their village, and Mr. Bennet was there, and with a book. And he had a lot of curiosity about the events. He wanted to listen to what had happened, how the evening went. So secretly he was hoping that his wife would be disappointed with Mr. Bingley, but he soon found out that it was not the case. Mrs. Bennet was so happy with Mr. Bingley. She was so delighted. She said, "Oh my dear Mr. Bennet, we had the most delightful evening. Excellent ball. I wish you had been there." So she was telling that Jane, the eldest sister, was so much admired by everybody. Everybody said how beautiful she looked, and Mr. Bingley even danced twice. She's telling, think of that, he danced twice. And then she started telling the sequence, that first he asked Miss Lucas, then this happened, then that happened. Full explanation she was giving. And the Boulanger. Boulanger is a form of dance which used to happen in that era. Mainly in social parties, Boulanger was the type of dance which was done. So she was explaining everything, that how one after the other Mr. Bingley danced with the ladies, but again he came back to Jane. Then suddenly, in between, Mr. Bennet, he cut the conversation. "If he had any compassion for me," cried her husband impatiently, "he would not have had danced half so much. That, oh my God, why he danced so much? He had no, uh, compassion for me. He had no understanding for me. Why he danced so much? Oh my God, he should have had sprained his ankle instead of dancing. And but Mrs. Bennet is in some another cloud. She's very happy. She's telling, "Oh my God, I'm so delighted. He was excessively handsome. His sisters were charming. I have never seen so much elegance, and their dresses were so good. They were so elegant." And again, Mr. Bennet interrupted, and he was like, "No, no, don't tell me about all the description of the clothes and everything." So she changed the subject and started telling about Mr. Darcy, that how rude he was. And she was exaggerating means telling more than what is there. So suppose he was rude for some time, she was telling that he was rude for the full evening, so exaggerating. So she, that how rude he was. But she says that but that does not mean that Lizzie lost something. That if he is not liking Lizzie, it is not Lizzie's loss, because he himself is such a horrid man, such a horrible man. Thank God he didn't like Lizzie. That is what. And he was not talking to anybody. I just wish that you would have been there and you would have lectured him. Set downs means lectured him like that. I quite detest that man. Detest means do not like, hate that man.